Nothing like being late to your own party, huh? That time just jumped from, I don't know, 10 till straight up top of the hour. I was trying to set up my iPad and pull in the Facebook group so that I could see who's commenting, because on the screen I'm using I don't see your name unless you click on that little description that says I'm broadcasting with Ecamm Live, and for your name to show up with the comments you have to give Ecamm permission to do that. So, but I don't have enough Wi-Fi to pull up the iPad, so that's not going to work. So it could be that I won't see your name. So if that happens, I'm coming back and looking at comments at the end of the live stream. So I'll do my best to catch everybody there. So, quick recap. We shared the first roughly third of the catalog in the first video, and looked at some of the layout of the mini catalog, as well as some of the unique features of this catalog, like the choices between cling and photopolymer for some of these stamp sets. I've never seen that before. It's always been one or the other. And I showed you some of the samples that I have, as well as the actual product. And so we're going to continue that on, with the, we're going to pick up on page 20, oh shoot, I lost it, where are you? I'm going to pick up on page 24 in just a moment, but I need to go backwards for just a minute. So let me see if I can. Okay, so I missed showing you all this gorgeous card. I'm so glad that you're back. Thank you. This beautiful card is one of the ones that a team member made for our team swap. So we started with the last catalog having a team swap. So if you're a member of the team, you sign up and agree to make X many of the same card to be distributed to everybody that signs up for the swap. And right now we haven't had more than, I think we had 12 the first round, so that's been the number. There will be at some point a cutoff. Oh gosh, I went out of focus for a second. A cutoff saying, okay, you'll never have to make more than 20 or something like that. But anyway, this is a card that was in the swap for the mini catalog. This was made by Chris Jelly. She recently relocated to Tennessee with her husband. She's just a quilter, a seamstress. She's taught sewing. I mean, I have such talented people on my team. I can't believe it. But this is using that two-tone, that's Fancy Flora suite, and so she's used some of that gorgeous paper that we all fell in love with back behind here, right? And then the multi-step stamping with the two-tone Flora stamp set. And then remember, this die is from the sister bundle, Something Fancy. So she really brought it all in and used that pool party Grosgain ribbon, and I'm not sure, she may have even colored that a little bit. Wouldn't that be something? Okay, so moving on, let me set this back aside, and we're going to jump ahead to page 24. All right. So this is a gorgeous background stamp. So, and I don't have samples from it. I don't have this stamp set, but look how beautiful this is. They've added different colors with their stamp and brought this in. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Now this is kind of a cool technique. I don't know that I've ever done it, and I don't know that I'm quite in focus. I can't tell. So with this sample here, they have used the paper piercing, or the take your pick tool, and the paper piercing mat, and added some dimension by poking holes around that image. So pretty cool there. So how about that? Products, techniques, all kinds of stuff that you get in your catalog. So many ideas. In fact, I think they used to call these the idea book, or I think that's what it used to be called. So yeah, I copy from here all the time. We call that casing, but I get some of my best ideas probably straight out of the pages of this. So Nested Friends is the next of our stamps. And guys, can you see all the detail in this stamp? I mean, this is just gorgeous. So you've got a die to cut the nest and the bird, and then this tree branch here. I don't know that you can tell so much on the camera as you can in your physical catalog, but whenever there are dies to cut out around the image, there's a difference in how it displays in the catalog. So here, these kind of have a light color to indicate that they're, I don't even know how to explain it. And let's see. Okay, now that I've done this, I gotta go find some. So all of these, so there are no dies that correspond to this. So none of these have the shading around them to indicate that they have dies. But when you come back to this, I think you can see it on here, the Light the Way, you can see that there's a frame, like this is on die cut from white, and then it's kind of on a vanilla background. I don't know if that makes sense. So you can see that there's an outline. So this has a corresponding die that'll cut it out, and this one, and then the fireflies as well. So you get some helpful hints that way. Some pretty samples from in here, and the nest is pretty cool. Look at the nest, the way this works. So you can cut out your nest, then cut out the greenery, and even cut out some more detail and really layer that dimension on. This is gorgeous. Even have some eggs that you can add. They're right there. All right, so then this Queen Bee bundle. Now this little icon over here means that this was in part inspired or created by one of our $1 million sales achievers, and this was Laura Milligan. Laura is so sweet, and this is so her style. I do not have this yet, but you know, I love the Queen, of course. This beautiful bee with all of these floral images inside the bee, and then this piece here to make accents on your cards and projects. It's just gorgeous. And so you can see they've created a wreath with this kind of almost a wildflower, and added a bee. It's just really pretty. And then the dies, you've got a small honeycomb that they've used for accents here. So really pretty stamp set, very much Laura. The Silly Goose. Now, there's another icon on this page I want to draw your attention to. This little clock here. This tells you that this is a project that you can make quickly, right? And then, what does this little icon with the heart mean? I thought I knew them all. Oh, look at this. Up here at the front, we actually have a little index, but the little heart is not here. Okay, I'll do some research in the break and see if I can, I think it means it goes back to there's products in here that coordinate with the annual catalog, since it does pull in the Happy Forest Friends paper. So we'll go with that until I find out something different. But cute little images to color with that. Now, the hand-drawn dots. I do have this, and I have a sample. So this is a large background stamp. We got this at On Stage, and I shared it in my Love Cats class to go 2 weeks ago, and I absolutely love this. I love that it is truly representative of hand-drawn, although I wouldn't even get my lines as straight as these are. But so cool that they're not all colored in, they're not all solid dots, they're varying sizes and perfection in circles. None of them are perfect, right? It truly looks like you've taken a marker and just hand drawn each of the little dots. And this is what I did with it in my Love Cats class. I stamped it in Sweet Sorbet, and you can see, you know, up here that you've got some intentional places that are not completely filled in. So with the background stamps, I recommend that you use the Stamparatus for working with this. It's really not something that you could work without a block. And to mount this on the block that will hold it, the really large block, it's too big to hold. So you could, you know, potentially, yes, you could lay it down on your desk, which I can't find the space to do. Lay it here, bring the ink pad to it, and then lay your paper on top of it. But it is so easy to do with the Stamparatus that that's the way I use them, and so that's the way I recommend that you do. Something else to point out with this sample here. So this is a product from the annual catalog, these gusseted bags. But notice this tag. So we're on page 28. This tag is die cut from the linen paper, and the greeting is stamped right on the linen paper. So if you haven't discovered the linen paper, it is in the annual catalog on page 139. This is the specialty paper page, and the linen paper is right here. So it's very cool to work with. It lets you give some really nice texture to your projects, and you can even fray it a little bit, which is what they've done along the edges here. So I thought that was very, very cool. The next stamp, I do not have either the sea turtle. It is a reversible stamp. Now I do have some reversible stamps, so let me just grab them and I'll show you what that looks like. Where are you? Majestic. So this is Mountain Air from our annual catalog, and the dies that coordinate with it are here. So I've got just this single sheet of stamps, but the images are, there's something on both sides. So one, like this side is pretty solid except for the rocky edge, but the part up here is not got a lot of detail to it. And then the other side is actually solid, so you can create, you know, that shadowing and depth with them. So that's what reversible stamps are. You actually can ink up both sides to get different images with it. And in the case itself, it shows you that, you know, the one side is going to give you that solid color, and then you stamp the detail on top of it. So it's a two-step stamp, but the front, or the both sides of the stamp, make up the step 1 and step 2. So those are good for using your Stamparatus to help guide you. But cool, big sea turtle. Then we move on to one of my favorite pages in the book. So I'm going to talk about the book, and then I'm going to show you all the products in it, right? So this is the Regency Park Suite Collection, and I'm on page 30 and 31. And so you've got a double bundles here. You have the Petal Park, which has a stamp set and a punch. And then you have Sentimental Park, which is greetings, a few more images, and dies, coordinating dies with it. They are both photopolymer stamp sets. Then there is this textured shimmer paper, the cane weave. You know, you saw the cane weave here. Okay, lots of really, really great texture in that cane weave embossing folder. Then there's ribbon, dots, and some gorgeous paper. So let's take a look at what I have. I do not have any samples of this just yet because it only just arrived, but there's some gorgeous samples in the catalog, and I do have all the products to show you. So I'm gonna grab those and let's see what we've got. But first, I need a brief sip of water. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so let's take these. Okay, so here is the stamp set and the dies, and you'll notice that this is two-step stamping, right? In that here you get the detail and here you get the solid filler. Now, you could always stamp your detail and then color with your blends or your ink and blender pens or watercolor pencils. Lots of opportunities here, or sometimes it's faster and gives you an entirely different look if you stamp, if you ink your stamp and stamp the second step directly instead of coloring. But each set of stamps has that two-step look to it. And like I said, it is photopolymer, so it's going to go there. And then it has a coordinating punch that punches out, so you can actually stamp your images, these images, and a leaf, and I think I showed in my video, my class to go this week, how awesome our punches are in that they store nearly flat, right? They have a picture image here and a locking mechanism here, so you can unlock them and then lock them back down for storage. These metal pieces can get kind of sharp, so be careful. The Sentimental Park. So these are our greetings and a few more images. And again, we get some more two-step look here, and we've got this little cross hatch. I like that. Sweet font and covering lots of occasions. Baby, birthday, graduation, anniversary, new adventure. Yeah, thanks for all the wonderful things you do. Thinking of you. Let's celebrate, dear friend. Yeah, these are amazing. And then here are these gorgeous dies. Now, let me tell you a secret about the dies. You actually, in the dies, have an opportunity to, what am I trying to say? When you cut this piece out for your greeting, it actually, that piece will tuck under the corners here and give you a super fun layering technique. So this is coming up soon. It's on my list of priorities to get to. So maybe I can describe that a little bit better, or maybe I could even find a sample here that will describe that to you. It was my friend Judy that pointed it out to me. Yes. Okay, so right here you can see that, so they've cut out the background from the designer series paper, then cut out a white piece, stamped the greeting on it, and then the corners are tucked under that background piece. So here it is like before they put it together, and here it is on the finished card. So you can see it just cuts a slit for you to slide those edges in. So super cool, right? All right, so those are the two stamp sets. And then here's this embossing folder. And I showed you on another piece earlier that, labeling my embossing folders has become very nice to do. So I just put the name and the item number on them. And then when I need to reference them by name, I'm not quite stumbling over them, maybe. Here we have, so this is a Night of Navy bordered ribbon. It's not really open weave. It's almost a lighter version of the color that's running down the middle of it. The Milky Dots. Thought I had opened these, but they're feeling like they haven't. So the dots have several colors here. So there's Night of Navy, Petal Pink. This is almost a it's almost a freesia or heather looking color. Then Mango Melody, so it looks pretty gold. And then a white, which is just a really cool opaque. This would be really cool with gray. That would be so pretty. All of them really, really pretty embellishments there. This textured shimmer paper, I actually forgot to purchase. That's what I need for my Balmy Blue card for Card Club, but I used it on this card. So I'm going to try and see if I can show you. Okay, you can see the shimmer, right? And then it has almost a corduroy ribbed feeling to it. So I have just the tiniest strip here, but it is very, very cool. And it's going to come in shaded spruce. I really like shaded spruce. It's not Sally's friend, but I really like it. Balmy blue and white. So here's the white, and maybe when I share photos, I can capture in the photo the actual ribbed part of it. That, and then let's take a look at the paper, because it is bright and fun and full of, I know, and I hear all the time, we all say it, I don't need any more flowers, I have so many flowers. Yeah, I know we do, but right? So in this pack of paper, we have Balmy Blue, Mango Melody, Night of Navy, Petal Pink, Shaded Spruce, and Sweet Sorbet. And you probably could have guessed that just from the other pieces I'd already shown you. But look at how, I love the blue and the green together. That's Shaded Spruce. So we have a floral pattern on one side, and then a geometric pattern on the other. Then these bright colors, that's different. So we get some Shaded Spruce, some Mango, some Balmy, some Petal Pink there, and then a Petal Pink pattern on the back, really subtle floral background. Then this is really pretty. There's a Mango Melody on the back. Then that's so pretty. That reminds me of something, but I can't name it. And then a little pattern. This is actually tiny flowers, but in the distance, to me, it just looks like circles. And of course, you know, I love the red. And I love red and Petal Pink together. What is up with that? Oh, and here are some polka dots on the Petal Pink side. This bold, I am very drawn to these bold patterns. And so here's some cane weave pattern to the flip side. And so for each of the designs, there's a navy. Here's kind of a denim looking on that side. And then just a sweet, softer pattern here with navy, and then kind of random dots in Balmy Blue on the navy. And then here we get some navy and Shaded Spruce and Mango Melody, a little Petal Pink too. And then a stripe pattern that corresponds to it. So this would be a super cool when you want to show both sides of your paper. Those would coordinate. You know, sometimes the best pattern that coordinates is not on the flip side. It's on another piece in the pack. But that's sure one that would you could just show both. Here's the Petal Pink in the cane with the red floral on that side. And then here's some more of that sweet sweet flowers, and this almost looks like it's on a vanilla-ish background, and then kind of a balmy blue with white random polka dots. Okay, kind of like this one a lot too. You know, and I've already said this, I'm not a huge fan of blue, but these are all so pretty. And then the Mango Melody polka dots, so amazing paper there. Yeah, I don't know exactly when I'm going to be featuring this, but I absolutely will. It would be a nice fit in the birthday class, so that might be where you see it next. All right, I'll get this out of the way. All right, so that is the Regency Park Suite. Yes, Pam, more and more gorgeous paper. And then here are on page 32 and 33 some the images actual size shown here, and that little icon that tells us these will work in the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Then we have this super sweet fun on the farm. So let me see if I can get this big, and I have some samples to show you of this as well. So this on the farm actually has paper that coordinates with it in the celebration brochure. So I have played with it, and my samples use both the stamps and the dies. And if you'll notice, so many of these have coordinating dies: the sheep, the chicken, the silo, the barn, the little flower, this little set of trees, the cow, this little kind of floral weed looking, the haystack, these sweet little pigs, another little sprig, and the clouds. There's so many dies. So let's see what I've done with them. Okay. So here's the stamp set. 17 stamps, right? So you get a few greetings, thinking happy thoughts of you. Today is a good day from all of us. I love this, right? This little landscape. I'm gonna lose words throughout the day, I feel sure. But then there's some little grass here. But I just love that, creating that background. And then here are all the dies. So you even get this little wavy look to create your background. And I wonder, does that? No, it doesn't seem to actually coordinate with that. But so create your little backgrounds. This does. Okay, you can get some texture there and piece together your so it's kind of like these 3 dies will do this for you. Okay, I say that and then I don't really know, do I? Okay, let's see if we can layer these up. If they don't make this one, they would certainly make another landscape look. I think I've got them out of order. All right, so we'll lay this one down first, then this one, and that one. So I guess you would stamp it 3 times if you wanted to use it that way. And okay, so now I feel like I must do that. Anyway, it is cling. It's not available in photopolymer. I used the Stamparatus when I stamped my samples. And let me show you my little samples. Okay, so this one, now this is actually meant to go on a toothpick to make a little sign. But how cute is this? So these are all stamped from the coordinating paper, and then the greeting is wait, these are actually die cut from the paper. Is that what I said? But I think I actually fussy cut my flowers, and then I stamped my greeting on a tiny square, and then it's to go on a toothpick to make a sign that says today is a good day on the farm. And then so these, and this is the in color opal, no, in color. Dadgum, what are they called? Hold on, I feel sure they're right here. Okay, in color opal rounds. That's what I've used on these. And the little diorama die there. And this comes from another Charming Sentiments. This heart, I don't remember what that's from, sorry. But anyway, super sweet little sample there. Babies are a blessing. And this was kind of a cool thing that we did. So I cut this out from the paper and then colored the white space with a blend so that it blended into the background. So it wasn't this stark white jumping out. So I've never done that before, but that was pretty cool. And I absolutely love this one with this tag and all of this activity going on. I mean, how sweet is this? So some of that window pane ribbon and the little, not a windmill. Well, is it a windmill? Whether, I don't know what you call that. Anyway, just that's just die cut. The pigs are just die cut. The little goose is die cut. I just touched them with a blend to give them a little detail. And then these are both stamped. The clouds are stamped and die cut and colored with blends. So super fun. And then there's a little box that I haven't quite completed yet from my little samples. And then, so as long as we're here, let's go ahead and take a look at the Celebration paper that coordinates. So this is a free item available to be selected during January and February. All right, I need to back up a little bit. Okay. And actually, if you bought this bundle, you could choose the paper to go along with it. So this would be $51.25, and then you'd have a Celebration item and you could select this. Now, the stamp set is live at least through the end of April. The paper is only going to be available until the end of February or while supplies last. We don't exactly know. I love this cherry cobbler scene, and then a really neutral piece on the back. Then this is one that has all of the animals and the little flowers that you can die cut out. And then gorgeous, isn't that lovely? Woo. All right, let's see if I can grab another pattern. Then this one with the trees and the cows, so pretty. And then this has the landscape on the back of it. Then for those of us who like chicks and ducks, you've got this one, and then the chicken wire on the back side. And I feel like there's probably, oh, there's one more. So this is just calling for a 12 by 12 frame or a scrapbook page. It has all the scene just laid out for you. How fun is that? I love this paper. So I love, well, this was one of my first purchases. And get it out of the way. All right, moving on. This Around the Bend bundle. We had, oh, Kirby, I don't know if you're on, but you might remember the stamp set that kind of did this curve a couple of years ago. But anyway, similar to that. We've got curved greetings. This is available in cling or photopolymer. So if you want to make this sometimes straight, sometimes curved, sometimes more curved, I recommend that you get the photopolymer version. Curvy dies. Okay, thank you much. And that way you can manipulate it. You cannot manipulate the cling stamps the way you can the photopolymer, but the photopolymer would allow you to make this more curved or less curved. Now, when you start playing with the stamps and the curve, it's not going to line up so much with the dies anymore. But I can see lots of times that you might want to make this, stretch this out a little bit, maybe even curve it in a wave. Could be a road. So look at these fun little polka dots. So that is the Around the Bend bundle. Then here is a Mother's Day bundle that is, oh, darn it. Okay, my mouse is there. Whew. My mouse did not want to cooperate. I grew up with marigolds, okay, and I remember my mom, we're not green thumb people, but we had marigolds, and when she was tired of marigolds and wanted to move on to something else, she couldn't get rid of the marigolds. They were super hardy plants. So I definitely think of my mom when I see this. And look at this pretty Happy Mother's Day font. You have a heart of gold. So I like this. I do not have this yet. And this is a photopolymer stamp set and has dies that go along with it. And look at the detail, guys. You see this white piece that's coming along here? So they've cut a scalloped edge with the scallop contours dies, and then used this die here to cut out this white little detail that they've used on both sides. So very pretty there. And I would have to look to see what they've used in the background of this one. I think it's the two-tone, how about I have my catalog just right there beside me. See if I can find them. That's not it. I know what I'm looking for here. The split card techniques. I think that's what they've used on this sample here, and they've just cut around the piece that that they didn't want, so that more of the designer series paper showed through. Large greetings and some coordinating dies. It actually tells you when there are dies that coordinate but it's not part of a bundle. It will tell you what it coordinates with. So this coordinates with the beautiful shapes dies. Here's a shooting star, and look how they did this little rainbow. Okay, so you can sweep that with your blend, with your water painters, but just make this pretty rainbow and then come and stamp. I just can't tell you what a gift it is to call you my friend. Oh, I just love that. And I actually do have this, so you can see it now. It is available just in cling, but this is the one that coordinates with that beautiful shapes. And then I just, this rainbow is what I had to have. I'm just gonna tell you, this card sold me on the whole thing. And that, and then may the road ahead of you be brighter than the one behind, lined with wildflowers and covered in sunshine. What a beautiful greeting, right? Quite the little pick-me-up. Easy card. Big greetings make cards really easy to create. So, in case you weren't sure about that. All right, now this fun builder stamp set I do not have, and honestly I don't know that I will have it, but I do think that they did some really cool things in the samples, and there are no dies, so they have, like on this one, they stamped the hair and fussy cut it to lay over the back of her shirt. They've done paper piecing, which is where you stamp on a piece of designer series paper and then cut it out to give something a shape, and then they just glued, adhered the pieces together. So some really cool stuff going on with this one. And I had to go back and find, there's an embossing folder used back here, and it's the Elegant Eucalyptus embossing folder is what they've used here. And then cool punch over here that is new in this catalog. Let's see if that's the first place it's introduced. It gives you kind of a tiny scalloped or a ticket, so it's two edges. You always see me use my banners pick-a-punch to create the flags in the sides of my projects. This one you can see you can create two different edges with the Happy Labels pick-a-punch, and we'll see it highlighted more on page 53, but I just recognized it there, so I decided to share. Conversational heart bundles. Okay, so remember this set, because when we get to the celebration, we're going to come back and talk about this and this little brainstorm that I had this morning in the shower. Yeah, I did just say that out loud. I think these are so fun. And maybe it's because just this, wow, there's my superhero Batman, Adam West kind of throwback. But so this is, so these are cling. They're not available in photopolymer, but you've got some fun little greetings, right? And let's take a look and see. Yes. So this one has actually included the frame and the greeting in them, and then you have some blank frame bubbles to use as well. And if you wanted a frame but you didn't want the word, then you could use your marker, or you could just mask out the part that you didn't want to appear. I'll be definitely using this stamp set, so you'll have a chance to see that in action. But how cool is this that it cuts out the edge so that it's truly a frame. You don't have to layer a second piece on top of it. So let's take a look at the dies. Let's see, they just got here. so cool. So 70s looking, is that what you'd say? Here's that wow outline. There's so much detail in this. This one's got little, you can't really, well, you can kind of tell here where it's picking up some more detail, but I don't know that I can get, well, you kind of can see it too, can't you? Here you can see the detail, and then along this, and then look at this, so you can add a bubble to a bubble edge, I guess is what I want to say. So I love that. And this little tulip, how sweet. There's actually 2 tulips and 2 sets of hearts. So we borrow hearts a lot of times from the Give It a Whirl dies. How about get 4 little hearts from this set and 2 little stars. So yeah, this is one that I will hold on to. But these just look so retro. This Ray's, what is that called? Ray of Sunshine? I don't know. Light Ray. I don't know. This. Gotta have it. Let's hope that in the intermission, my brain decides to function a little more clearly. The friendly gnomes. Okay, so we had gnomes in the mini catalog that just retired. And guys, the dies carried over, and you can use them with the new friendly gnomes. So, where'd you go? Got out of order over here. So here are the dies that were introduced in the other mini. So you still have your little gnome beard, the hat, and the feet. You know, make you some swinging feet gnomes. And then you get dies that cut out the little, this one. Yep. So we have 3 gnomes, and I don't know, no, that's not going to cut out, but those work, they coordinate. How cute, right? So spring is everywhere. And now I gotta fit these back together, huh? Should have really thought that out a little bit better. Anyway, oh, there's a little squirrel. So super cute. Friendly Gnomes is the name of that. And they are photopolymer, not available in cling. And here's a St. Patrick's Day set, and I have samples with it. It's a punch bundle. So here's your Lucky Clover, Happy St. Patrick's Day. And I love the detail in that. And then here's the punch. Am I still zoomed in? No, I'm not. Okay, so here's the punch. Again, it's a single punch. Mine doesn't have truly sharp edges. Well, I could probably demonstrate how you could cut yourself with it, but and then these little bitty bits of clover jumping off. And then I have 2 samples. A good friend is like a 4-leaf clover, hard to find and lucky to have. So super pretty, stamped on mossy meadow there with gorgeous grape. And then here's one that is Happy St. Patrick's Day, punched from some green designer series paper with a little bit of gold behind. So wonderful. And then some more gold here. And on these, they actually took a take your pick tool with the stylus end and added some detail. So if you put your die cut, your punched image on your silicone mat or your paper piercing mat and take your stylus end of your take your pick, you can gently score or add the detail like that. And we're on the final set, I think, of this, oh, close to it. So this is the Delicate Desert Suite, and it has a stamp set, a distinctive stamp set, and some cool gold gems here. This pale papaya ribbon, this really sparkly paper. So I do not have the bundle, but I have all of those accessories. So I've got 2 sets of paper. Let's see which way to go with these. Let's start with these. These are some odd, some like almost teardrop shaped sequins in the largest. Then these are more, not quite round, they're almost floral, flower shaped. There's 6-sided. Yeah, let's just go with that. But bright gold adhesive. Then this is a pale papaya. No, is that right? Yeah, pale papaya velvet ribbon. So it feels real good. About 1/2 inch wide. Yeah, look at me. So pretty ribbon. I'm gonna have trouble tying it because somewhere along the lines I'm gonna want to flip it so that the velvet side is showing. So anybody wants to do a demonstration on the best way to do that, I'm here for you. Okay, so I managed to do it on the bow, but now I gotta figure out how to tie. Oh, well, okay, maybe it's not so challenging. Who knew? I clearly didn't. All right, so this metallic paper, I actually got this on stage. So there are 4 sheets. This is called a dry brushed metallic paper. It's single-sided. So you've got 2 that kind of have this, well, let's see. They're saying this is Cajun Craze with rose gold and petal pink, and then petal pink and soft succulent. Ooh. Okay, I don't know that you can see the color. This is gorgeous. Yeah, it's showing up really dark on the camera, but it is not. It is lovely. It's one that you're gonna use a little bit, will go a long way, I think. Then the desert paper, Delicate Desert Designer Series paper, Cajun Craze, Calypso Coral, Gray Granite, Pale Papaya, Petal Pink, and Soft Succulent. So it doesn't use balmy blue. Huh. So let's see what we got. Pretty desert backdrop there. 2 sheets of each 12 by 12. Oh my gosh. That is lovely. Then here's that gray granite coming through on one side. Cajun Craze on the other. Super pretty. Wow. That pattern there, can you kind of see? It's, yeah, I don't know how to describe that. It's like if you took a record, a vinyl record, and smushed it to make it oblong. That's what it has, grooves in it, and then they're laying on top of each other, going all directions. Then we get some polka dots and kind of a watercolor brush look. The Desert Sweet, yes. This is so pretty, just kind of a shabby chic look to that one. And then look at the pretty pinks and grays in that. Cajun Craze coming through. And then another kind of wave and another desert background on the back. So lovely paper. This kind of stamp set, even though it has this floral image, you get to make all kinds of neutral, gender neutral cards using the frames and the greetings. Bring in some, this has actually got that kind of a succulent or a cactus, I think it's probably a cactus, huh? Look to it. And then look how they did this with the die cut, this die cut here. It cuts out a really fun shape. And then just layering the stamps, the border stamps. You can do lots of things there. All right, one more page. Is that, how did I miss something here? Oh, yeah, I flipped too soon. Okay, stop. This is my last page. This Kind and Sincere with the Like an Animal print. So these big greetings, they always call to me because this makes a quick graduation card, a quick thank you card. Kind, super word. So you've got easy to read font, lots of different greetings, and then you get this animal print, or on the same page is this animal print DSP that they've used here, just strips of it, so there's nothing overpowering in it in the way they've used it. So here's the kind and sincere, and so you can see how big that congratulations is. And I do have a sample. I think when we get to the celebration, I'll be able to show you my sample because I didn't pull it out, and so it's not handy. Sorry. Yeah, I did cuddle with the velvet ribbon. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's the animal print. This one is white and silver, and these are two-sided. So this is kind of a dark gray and Sahara sand. This is lovely. It's not metallic on this side. Then that shell pattern, this is silver and white, and then all kinds of grays on this side. So this is kind of a wild silver and white on this side, and then more zebra colors, more light grays and dark grays on that side. Then this is a bright and shiny gold, and I do not know my animals to tell you which print belongs to which animal. Maybe that's alligator. I don't know. Maybe that was zebra. I don't know. I'm thinking this is giraffe. There's no test on this, okay? That's not even in one of the door prize deals. The twine is threaded in the sequins. Oh, sure is. Look at that. So here on this sample, they took linen thread and threaded it through those adhesive back sequins and made kind of a fun little loose. Of course, what do they do with the adhesive? I guess they're stuck together. So that's really cool. Okay, so sorry, derailed. This is more of a browns on the flip side of that. Is this cheetah? And then the non-metallic side on the other side. Okay, so this is on page 44 is where we're talking about them threading the gold sequins here. They've got a hole, so they have threaded some of the linen thread through it and created a stack for that little, I don't know if that's a card or a box or something that they've used. All right, so I will put all of these away and get ready to come back for round three, and I will respond to all of your comments. And let's see, so I will be back at 1 o'clock, and so that's an hour and 7 minutes, I think. And you've got a word game coming up, so and that's for door prize entries. All right, everybody, thanks so much for being here, and I will see you again in just over an hour. Bye bye.